the finances for it. So let's get into IB. Okay, so we got pushed into the toy box. We were looking for the toy key. Which is probably what this is. What? I don't like this. I feel like something like this happened before. What's the thing? Let's hurry towards the exit. Alright. I'm gonna stay away from the walls just in case something tries to reach out and grab us. Nope. Okay. There we go. This is the room where the toy box was? Thorns blocked the way. What should we do? Look at them closely. Let's not do anything to him just yet. Wait. Burn them? Okay. Sure feels heavy sometime. I think we're gonna have to deal with Mary soon. Speak of the devil. Who's there? I need to find a comfortable way to put my hands on this keyboard. How'd you get in this room? Leave. Don't take another step. Leave right now. Now. Leave. Okay. Game over. I try to run as fast as I can. There's no sprint button in this, so I think I just didn't get to the... It's her picture. We know she's a painting. One of the last paintings the guy did. Mary. Remove the painting. It won't come off. Burn the painting. We can't really rip the painting because there's nothing to rip. I have to say, I thought I was a goner there. That fire is much bigger than I expected. Are you okay, Ib? Did you get hurt when the glass shattered? Your hand? Oh, you're right, I cut it. I didn't even notice. Must have cut it just now. Are you... Give handkerchief. A handkerchief. Thanks, but isn't that important to you? I feel kind of bad. I'll be fine. It's not that bad. You can put that away. Okay. Palette knife lies among... Okay. Yeah. Alright. I need a healing thing. Go ahead and save again. Okay, now we need to go to this middle area. I don't think this has anything left in it, yeah. Alright. Was there any paintings or anything? No. Alright, let's go to hell, I guess. Oh, we're back at the entryway. Wait, hold on. Twice Gratera. Abyss of the Deep. A world where no one can even stand. Okay, so we can probably read these now. Well, a well-meaning hell. Yeah, so some of the names of these have changed. Isolation at Water's Edge. Horizon View. Serpentine Spirit. So some of these we couldn't read before. It said like question mark question mark. I'm guessing because Gary's with us, we can read them now. Please refrain from touching the displays. Embodiment of spirit. Beautiful glance, but should you get too close, it induces pain. It blooms only in wholesome bodies. Selfless guard. The sky seen from a hill. The coughing man. Fusion. Yeah, that didn't even have a name last time. Okay. Interesting. Let's go ahead and save again. I don't know if those count as art now that we can read them. Nature Mort on the table. The hanged man. Lady taking the newspaper. Worry. Couplet Towers. Lady in red. Glass of Antipodes. Spectacle of Century's End. Taste Cleansing Tree. Wariness. Your Dark Figure. Misshapen Diamond. Bitter Fruit. Reserved Seat. Death of the Individual. Alright. And this is something world. There's no coming back after this. All your time here will be lost. Will you still jump in? Big painting. Fabricated world. Hey, isn't that the gallery we came from? Does that mean if we jump into this painting, we'll be able to go back? But how are we meant to jump into a painting? Whoa, what? Look, the frame. This might be our chance. I'm really in. Hurry up. Ib. Ib, what's wrong? Come on. Okay. Oh, it's definitely not her mother. Ib, I finally found you. Goodness, I've been looking everywhere. Don't just go wandering up front. Father's waiting for you to see. Let's go. What are you doing? Hurry up and come over. How many times have I told you don't go following strangers? Hey, it's not scary, okay? You'll be fine. Listen to your mother. Don't go with some stranger. Do you want to never see your mother and father again? Here, I'll pull you over. Come with me. Reach out your hand. Ib. What should I do? Well, we know it's not the mother, right? Because we've been going through the art world, so... The painting says fabricated world. But... that can mean fabricated by humans, not fabricated by, like, painting. That is not our mother. I'm about 90% sure that's not our mother. Right? I can't remember. You can't remember what you were doing. And we still don't know that's called fabricated world or whatever. Yeah, see. And now we're all kind of back to the normal. Now the question is, we did see... We did see Gary upstairs, so it's strange that Gary's not here anymore. We already looked. There he is. There's Gary. What are you looking at? Nothing much. Rose sculpture. So, when I look at this rose, somehow I found deeply sorrowful. I wonder why. My apologies. Big job such things out of the blue. Never mind what I said. It's, well, so long. So he doesn't remember us. There you are. Oh, were you looking at this? Isn't it amazing? They say it represents a person's heart. Wonder if you have a beautiful rose in your heart, Ib. Say, Ib, let's walk around together. I haven't looked over this way yet, have you? I hope you find some more pieces you like. Okay. So it definitely feels like there's different endings here. Like, I have a feeling that there's memories, crannies is what this ending is called. I'm very curious how many endings this has. Like, there's an obvious ending of staying with your mother, right? Which is probably unlocked the true Gortena exhibition, unlocked a hidden dungeon, unlocked bonus endings. You can access those on a second playthrough. New game. Select new game to start a second playthrough. Save files will be marked with a diamond. Okay, well, we're definitely not going to do a second playthrough. What is the true exhibit? If you find all the artwork, then... Oh, okay, so we have to find all the artwork. Got it. That's fine. I didn't realize we had, like, freaking 10 minutes left in this game. So I'm gonna look how many endings there are. I'm not gonna look up what they are. We might come back to this game and get the other endings, but I have a feeling one of them is like remembering okay. There are, according to this, there are 7 endings. There's Promise of Reunion, Memories Crannies, Ib All Alone, Forgotten Portrait, Together Forever, Welcome to the World of Gortena, and A Painting's Demise. Okay, so Promise of Reunion seems to be the, like, true ending. Okay, so apparently we could have got that ending if we had more bond points with Gary. I don't know what that means, but we got what's essentially looks like to be the second best good ending. We were able to escape and we live happily ever after. The only difference is with the true ending, we get a credit roll and Gary remembers us essentially. So yeah, but that's gonna be that for Ib. Okay, well. I thought we had a little bit more than that left in the tank, but no, that was it. Let me go ahead and put a... Well, let's talk about Ib real quick. Again, these are kind of my first forays into these like RPG Maker games. These games came out a while ago. I think both this and Mad Doctor are like at least 10 or 11 years old, maybe even a little bit older. So, like, mechanically, this one, I will say, this one had more puzzles than Mad Father did. But the story, I felt like wasn't as gripping. And I think that's because everyone was talking to the character like they were a child, because they were a child. Whereas in Mad Father, you are a child, but everyone's kind of like, no, you can handle yourself, right? Like you're seeing some pretty like messed up and disturbing things in Mad Father, but no one like treats you like you're an idiot. And at Ebe, it's just like they even Ebe or Ib or whatever, even the main character themselves is kind of like, I don't know what they can't even read certain words, right? So it's very interesting from a like story standpoint, that everyone kind of treats you like you're kind of dumb. Even the main character treats herself that she's kind of dumb. I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing, mind you. I was kind of surprised. I think this game came out before Mad Father, so maybe they were able to kind of tidy up that formula, because I definitely feel like who's the main character in Mad Father? I don't remember her name, to be honest. But you know, I felt like she was much more like competent, and I think they're about Aya. That's it. I was like, I know it's a name I should remember. And she just seemed much more competent. She seemed much more like, I'm going to take care of this, you know, even though I'm like 10. But whereas Ebe felt more like, I need someone to do things for me because I'm literally a child. So it was an interesting change from a storytelling standpoint. I'm not sure why the art was necessary, because I feel like the idea that you're like traveling through art pieces and the art's trying to kill you, usually there's a commentary with that, but for here it felt more like just an aesthetic choice, right? Because like there is a conversation to be had about like high art and how that market has been basically completely destroyed by the upper class, and how they basically use it to create and shift money around. It's really dumb. But that conversation was not being had here. It was more like they needed a reason for monsters to exist, and art was the jumping off point, essentially. Then you had the Mary's World kind of thing, with the sketchbook. They called it a sketchbook, which I guess you could use Crown in a sketchbook, but usually a sketchbook is something that holds sketches, which is like a pencil drawing or even some charcoal. So I don't know if I really would have called that area a sketchbook, but I could see you using Crown in a sketchbook if you're younger. Mary's motivations weren't very clear from a storytelling standpoint. It's almost like Mary wanted to get out, but she already knew she was a painting. So it's like she was waiting for her moment to strike, but also wanting to get out. And I'm not sure why she didn't just wait till like the end when you're like, oh, we're gonna jump into the painting, and then she just like bam stabs Eve in the back or something. Maybe that's what one of the other endings or something, but I don't know. It was very interesting. This also didn't have, I felt like it didn't really have like a main through line to the story. It was more like you're trapped in a world and you have to get out, and that's the entire arc. There's not like, you solve puzzles and stuff along the way, which we'll talk about mechanically in a second, but like overall it was just kind of like a straight line of like you get stuck in Painted World, right, and then you move to the end. Whereas in like Mad Father, you were discovering what your father was doing, what happened with your mother, who the maid was, why these dolls are important, you know, the little boy and his story, and you know, basically each of the ghosts you run into have a story about how they were captured and why they were captured. You know, like everybody felt like they were a living part of the world. But here it was just like, oh, this painting called Woman in Red, it's just going to chase you around. It's like, why? Why does all the art want to kill Ib? We don't really get an answer to that, other than the fact that like they crave life, right? Which again, it like it feels like they came up to like really close to an idea of like how they wanted to make this like an artistic, literally piece, but then just didn't do anything with that. But yeah, I don't think the story was the greatest, but I feel like the intention of this game was more to give you a bunch of endings and less of actually telling like a definitive story. So like I feel like I keep doing that. I keep punching the crap out of my keyboard. I feel like there's a bunch of like, because we have to like get our bond points up with Gary, whatever that means, or Gary can die and we get an ending that way, and there's all that kind of stuff. But I don't know. It's just I was interested because it seemed like it was an art-based like horror, and it definitely has that, but I don't think it really sells itself well from a story standpoint. Because art, the thing is Mary, I thought, was going to be the obvious art imitates life thing, but they said multiple times throughout the game, including when we read about Mary and got the big reveal that Mary's actually a picture, that this Guertena artist person never actually paints a real person, right? They're never based on a real person, according to what we read repeatedly. So it's just like, if it had been Guertena's like daughter, if it had been Guertena's like niece or something like that, there would have been some connection between the art and the artist, and then you could have the art imitates life kind of, sub idea in there. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like this was like, from a story standpoint, I feel like it was very basic. Honestly, it was very basic. Very like, we're trapped here, we need to get out. Here's some puzzles. It's a art based escape room essentially, which is fine. And that kind of leads into the mechanics here. There's a lot of puzzles. It's much heavier in puzzles than Mad Father was, which is fine because I like puzzles. We played some puzzle games on the channel. I didn't mind the puzzles. The movement was fine. I like that they did use lights to tell you that there were some interactables on the screen instead of having that thing pop up over your head, like Mad Father did. I think I still would have preferred the Mad Father, like something over your head to tell you that you're on something, but I feel like that thing would be flashing constantly when you walk by paintings and stuff. So I kind of understand why they did what they did. The flower as a health bar, I thought was an interesting idea. I wonder if that was inspired by like Beauty and the Beast, because if you've ever seen that, the flower petals falling off of the rose for Beast, kind of thing. And honestly, I feel like we like through the game, and I guess there's a little bit back on the story stuff, I feel like we didn't really learn that much about Gary. Honestly, I still don't know who Gary is as a person. But yeah, mechanic wise, it like I said, it's very much a kind of escape room. Here's a bunch of puzzles to go through to get a little bit of story, and then do another bunch of puzzles to get story. Do another bunch of puzzles, and then it took like less than 2.5 hours to beat this game. So let me look at the price real quick. This game currently runs. Wow. So this game is currently $9. It's usually $13. It is one of the highest rated games on Steam. I will say like I'm glad it has a lot of fans. I don't think you can fully explore this game in one playthrough. I definitely feel like this is a multi-playthrough kind of game. And I feel like this is also a look up how some secret mechanics work kind of game, like the bonding. But no, I do think that this game is meant to be played multiple times. And if a playthrough takes like 2 hours-ish, I would say, if you could get, like 4 playthroughs in that, you could argue for that price. But man, that price, if you're just playing that once like we are, that price for me is way too steep. $13 for 2 hours. That's steep. That's very steep. Now give it, AAA games have released 2-hour games for like $60, so take that with a grain of salt. But for me personally, I guess maybe I just don't have the love for this game that a lot of the people that played it before the updates and stuff did. But yeah, I want to be clear. I don't think it's a bad game. I think it's just a game that requires you to do more than more than one playthrough, more than one like branch of interactions, because the puzzles aren't super difficult, to be honest. It's mainly making sure you find every single thing you need to interact with. But overall, I would say if you really want to like deep dive into this game, it's probably worth it. If you're trying to go for like a one playthrough, like I just want to get an ending like what we're doing, I don't think I can recommend it. Like even at like $9, that's still really steep for a game that only takes a couple hours and a story that doesn't seem very deep. Maybe it's deeper with the other endings, but yeah, it is what it is, I guess. But yeah, if you're interested, give it a go. Just with the caveat of remember that if you're playing this once, like a one and done, might not be worth it. So